The clumsy little puppy had been unwanted since birth. Looking at the tiny creature, the grandfather said he didn't think it would make it 3 days. But the grandmother couldn't bear to leave it alone, so she cradled it in her arms and fed it as if it were her own child. Seeing how happy she was, the grandfather didn't say anything more. Soon, under the grandmother's careful attention, the puppy began to grow, yet it remained a bit slow. When thirsty, it always got pushed away from the water bowl. When hungry, it lagged behind the others. By the time it reached the food, the bowl was already empty. A month later, when the pups were weaned, the grandparents, busy with farm work and unable to care for them all, gave the others away to relatives. Perhaps because it was clumsy and scrawny, this one was the only one left behind. Looking at the dopey little thing, the grandmother decided to keep it and raise it herself. But this peaceful life didn't last long. One day, while playing in the field, a large aggressive dog suddenly attacked it. The mother dog, fiercely protective, threw herself between them, regardless of the other dog's size, fighting desperately to shield her pup. The noise of the struggle carried across the field, and the grandfather quickly put down his tools and rushed toward the commotion. By the time he arrived, the mother dog was lying on the ground, unable to get up. With the grandfather by its side, the puppy slowly learned to live without its mother. When the grandmother tended the vegetable patch, it would chase grasshoppers nearby. When the grandfather hoed the soil, it would go catch little frogs by the river. And in the evening, it would follow right behind the grandfather on the way home. As it grew, it would run ahead to lead the way, a thoughtful companion. In the fields, it even tried to help the grandfather with small tasks. And at mealtime, it was always the most punctual. The grandfather would share a bit of ham, a bite for him, a bite for the dog, making the grandmother smile like a child as she watched. Life went on peacefully under the grandmother's gentle touch. But one evening, she passed away. The dog sat in the yard watching the few visitors come and go, perhaps sensing she was gone. It lay listless and subdued until the grandfather came over, stroked its head, and talked softly for a long time, telling it stories about the grandmother. The next day, the son loaded luggage into the trunk, ready to take the grandfather to a retirement home. Unable to bear leaving the dog, the grandfather turned back, bent down, and gently petted it one last time, saying goodbye. A tear fell onto the dog's nose. The dog looked up at him, and as if understanding, nuzzled his hand as if to comfort him. But it was only when the grandfather closed the car door that the dog seemed to realize this was farewell. It let out a single bark, as if trying to ask him to stay. When there was no response, it grew frantic, barking again and again, running back and forth, calling out for him. How it wished it could say, "Grandpa, don't go," but it couldn't.